Adjusted run, Paddy, run. And the red light is on. All set. Racing. And bombing the start was Red Dwarf. First out, God's Gate with Cross Statement. Going quickly is On Plain Air on the inside. Lombardina's nice and close. And Boab Boy coming across. And just in behind them is Regal Service. Gets into a spot about fifth. Just wants to over race and is 3 wide. Thermosphere Lad is right off the track. Then Snippy Sean and well back is Roaming Danger. Back in the on the inside, Run Paddy Run. Cruise to Victory. Decoration. History Won't Care's travelling well but is 15 off the leader. Uncle Gerard and last of all is Red Dwarf. Boab Boy came across to lead. It's Boab Boy by a half to Simply Thinking. Cross Statement the inside. Thermosphere Ladders out wide. Just behind them God's Gate. Working into the races Regal Service. Back on the inside is On Plain Air. Getting held up there Lombardina. To the outside trying to run on is Cruise to Victory. Letting go 4 deep. History Won't Care comes into it 5 and 6 deep. Tracking it up is Uncle Gerard as they turn. Then Roaming Danger and Snippy Sean. Simply Thinking. Raced up on the outside of Boab Boy. Thermosphere Lad. Down the outside God's Gate running on Cruise to Victory. And down the outside is History Won't Care and Uncle Gerard. Simply Thinking. God's Gate. Cruise to Victory the outside. God's Gate hit the front from Cruise to Victory. God's Gate beat Cruise to Victory. Photo third might be Simply Thinking. A nose to History Won't Care. Uncle Gerard and back behind them was Boab Boy. And they'll followed by Snippy Sean. Further back was Thermosphere Lad. Red Dwarf picked up a fair bit of ground late from Decoration. Well back was Roaming Danger. Regal Service knocked right up. Followed by Cross Statement and Run Paddy Run. Lombardina ahead of them. God's Gate. Beautiful looking animal hitting the front. Cruise to Victory. He's run a terrific race here. At a massive price, Cruise to Victory. Another one that's bobbed up after the previous race. We saw No Peer at a huge price running second and Cruise to Victory here, which let go 4 and 5 deep before the corner. History Won't Care came to the outside, was running on gamely late, but couldn't pick them up. Uncle Gerard was wider out. Regal Service dropped out, was a bit keen early. And Lombardina just in behind them, battling away. But it was God's Gate who sat just off them and has worked to the line nicely to get up and score in a driving finish. They were coming from everywhere. It's a race where that was always going to be a possibility. They look fairly even, some of these. And just having a look at it, Regal Service might have got held up behind the pack there. Carberry looked in a little bit of trouble over the final stage. He eased right up on the horse late. Bit of an eye catcher from Red Dwarf. It's bombed the start and ran home well out wide. Beat about 4 or 5 home. Didn't flash to the line, but it certainly made up some ground. But God's Gate, who is an impressive looking beast, failed on the soft last start over the 1400 at Bunbury, but before that ran a terrific race here when hitting the front, and Sunbronze was able to grind past it. But has always shown ability, this Playing God 3-year-old colt, still a colt out of the former handy mare Death Knock. So we'll head down to Lockie now after the running of the first leg of the Quaddie Race 5.
Thanks, Rich. A really nice win from God's Gate, and he had to do it a different way. Perhaps that was the most impressive factor of this win, as winning trainer Neville Parnham joins you now. Neville, God's Gate, we've become accustomed to seeing him out in front, but courtesy of the speed, he had to go to plan B and was still really strong late.
Yeah, he was. You know, I personally thought that he would be, you know, in the top 2 in the run, but they all went a bit crazy up front today. They all wanted the front, so Lucky seemed to think that might happen, and he said, I might take a trail on him today. So he got it right and got the money in the process.
How important is that for a horse like him now that he adds another string to his bow moving forward? Because if there had been a criticism of the horse prior to today, it had been that he had been a little bit one-dimensional.
Yeah, look, he's a big raw horse, and he's got a lot of ability, but he just hasn't quite sort of put it together. And yeah, he wanted to get it over and done with in a few of his races in the early days, but this time in he's been much better. 2 starts ago he got collared fairly quickly by Sunbronzed, and but he fought back tenaciously that day and then he went down by about half a length, and after looking like he would be beaten comfortably. So last start in the 14, I just don't think he sort of got it, and he went a bit keen in it. So we elected to sort of come back to this race today, the 13, and yeah, it was worked out pretty well.
What on here?
Good on you. Thanks.
There's Neville Parnham, and here's Lactara Molly.
Lucky joins me now. Lucky, you've known God's Gate his whole way through. He's a horse with a lot of natural ability.
Yeah, he was always, like for a colt, when he was 2 years old, he always put himself out there and showed he got raw ability. And then now he's like, for a colt, he's a very well-behaved colt and a good-looking one. And yeah, today the speed was on. I had to just set it, and up the straight, he really fought hard.
Is that the way to ride him going forward?
I hope so, because I knew there was a lot of speed, so my intention was just to use his early gate speed and get a bit of forward position, and which I got, and had a good back to follow and bring me up the straight, and the rest the horse did for me.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
There's Lactara Molly combining with Neville Parnham, and God's Gate taking out the 5th here at Pinjarra Park. As your attention now turns to the 4th at Roeburn, it's the Ashkana Adult Shop Handicap, Matty. That's a bit fruity. Only a minute and a half of betting time remaining. How do you order the 4?
Yeah, today, like it. We've gone 2, 3, 4 and 6 in this race. 2 I've put on top in Diamond Tipped. I'm not too often keen on one that settles back in running, but this race maps for a heap of pace. He's been hitting the line really well, eased down, and I can't see any reason why he can't make this. 3 on the bounce. Diamond Tip on the top for me. 3 in Mrs. Kangaroo. We'll certainly appreciate the 1100 metres here today. Probably won't appreciate Hartford House in this lineup. They both like to go to the top. They both like to go fast. If I knew Mrs. Kangaroo was going to find the fence and lead, he'd probably go on top for mine. 4 in She Is God, racing in some